Folks, official numbers are out, and is The Witcher on Netflix in trouble? Over here at Reddit, we have this post that is taking stats directly from the Netflix Top 10 Global. This is where it will tell you how many hours have been viewed of various TV shows from week to week. As far as Season 2 of The Witcher goes, we have it here in comparison to Season 1. So Season 1 had 541 million hours viewed in the first 28 days. The Witcher Season 2 in comparison had 462 million hours in the first 23 days, plus 33 million afterwards. So we're talking about 495 million hours viewed. So that means roughly there is about 45 million hours viewed of a difference here. And you know, the reason this is a big deal, or at least a little bit of a deal, is because Season 1 was this huge thing, and they expected Season 2 to be even bigger. I mean, have you seen the amount of marketing that they put into this? If you go and look all over social media, the amount of marketing that was put into Season 2 of this show is insane. So much. There was even a damn WitcherCon where they collaborated with CD Projekt Red and they brought out a WitcherCon, all in anticipation of Season 2 of this show. They also had an anime. They were announcing all their stuff about this other prequel series they're bringing out. There was so much hype, there was so much stuff behind this season, yet it still had 50 million less hours viewed than the first season. Now, this is still very good. These are very good numbers. Don't get me wrong. These are very good numbers, and anyone should be happy to have this amount of time viewed of their show. It's a highly successful show. But what this indicates is that Netflix and the people at Netflix are likely very disappointed. They will be disappointed with what has happened between Season 1 and Season 2. And the reason I tell you that is, for example, let's take Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, every single season, had more viewers than the previous season. Every season of Game of Thrones continually got bigger and bigger and bigger until they got to Season 8, which was the most watched season of TV. That was just the biggest season of TV, okay? The Witcher, on the other hand, has gone down in viewers. They've gone down from Season 1 to Season 2, and that doesn't spell great things from the future. And now, knowing what we know about Netflix, Netflix is a company that oftentimes will cancel shows after 2 or 3 seasons. They have 2 or 3 seasons, any sort of dip or whatever, they will cancel. And it's because the whole Netflix model isn't about making you enjoyable content to watch. It's about them gaining subscribers. The whole Netflix model is designed to gain subscribers. They need to keep gaining and gaining and gaining subscribers. It's the only way they can stay profitable. It's the only way they can stay in business. That's all they care about, is bringing in new people. And so when they do their metrics and they look at things, what they're looking at is how many people did The Witcher bring in? When we released The Witcher Season 2, how many people just signed up for that? How many people are here because of that? And if those numbers go down, then that is when Netflix will not hesitate. Even if it's a very popular show, they will not hesitate to scrap it. And they will throw their money at something else instead. And so, yes, The Witcher has been renewed for Season 3. Season 3 is about to begin production in March. But that doesn't mean that it will continue on after Season 3. There is no confirmation that it has been signed on for anything else. After Season 1, we got confirmation, oh, there's going to be a Season 2, and then we got confirmation, okay, there's going to be a Season 3. We've heard the showrunner talk about how we have a 7-season plan. And that makes sense. They have their own plan, but the production companies, the people behind the show, they don't have the say on what Netflix will then actually buy, what they'll actually order. And so I think at this point, this is concerning for Netflix, that these numbers have gone down. It's not a huge concern yet, but if these numbers have gone down like this from Season 1 to Season 2, you can expect that Season 2 will likely follow suit. And that doesn't even really matter on how good Season 3 is. Season 3 could be the best season of the 3 seasons so far. That doesn't mean suddenly you're going to have more people viewing it, because the amount of people viewing something doesn't mean that it's good or it's bad. I mean, reality TV, some of the most viewed stuff on that you can get ever. Some of the best ratings. But it's all trash. Reality TV is absolute garbage. And so it doesn't really prove anything. I mean, Netflix have got lots of shows that are very popular, yet they're trash. And I think that's pretty objective. I mean, you could argue it's a matter of opinions, but I think that some of these shows are objectively quite trash, yet they're very, very popular. And I'm not even talking about The Witcher here, I'm talking about the likes of like Riverdale, for example. So yeah, so I think it's very likely that if Season 3 then goes the same route as Season 2 compared to Season 1, you're maybe talking about going from 500 million hours to 400 million hours to 300 million hours. You see where I'm going here? And before time, people are going to get very fed up. And I mean, Netflix will just cancel it. If this drops again, if this drops to like 300 million hours viewed, 350 million hours viewed, you can bet Netflix will probably cancel right after Season 3. Like, I would not be surprised at all. Or what they'll say is, okay, we have one final season. We have Season 4, wrap up the story. And what you will end up with is the most rushed, awful season of television. I mean, you thought Game of Thrones Season 8 was bad, you thought Season 7 was bad. Just you wait for Netflix's The Witcher Season 4 when they have to wrap up the entire plot of the books in a single season. I mean, that will be a clusterfuck, to say the least. To be fair here, there is no guarantee they will cancel. Maybe something will turn around. Maybe they will be happy. Maybe this is an exception to the rule. Maybe this is fine. I mean, we're only seeing hours viewed. And that can indicate how many viewers there are. That can indicate a little bit in sort of the way of subscriptions, but it doesn't really tell us the full thing. We don't have the full data set, so we don't really know. But we do have some indications here. But yeah, a lot of this is speculation. But what I'm saying is maybe there is... Now is maybe the time to have a slight bit of concern for this show, or if you're someone who really doesn't like the show, maybe you're happy about it, I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely Netflix are going to be disappointed with this. I mean, I saw that Lauren was over on Twitter saying, oh, it's so great, both seasons of the show are in the top 10 for the last 4 weeks. That's amazing. Let's celebrate. I'm not convinced that they're really that celebratory over at Netflix looking at these numbers. I mean, as I keep saying, they're not huge. It's not a huge dip, but it is a dip. And it's concerning when you look at a lot of TV shows. TV shows that tend to do well in the long run are shows that maybe build slowly. Game of Thrones, for example. I mean, it starts off solid viewer base, but it only continues to grow season after season. And I'm not saying that this was necessarily going to ever be the next Game of Thrones, but most shows that end up going on for a long run time, shows that are very widely accepted and loved, they tend to be shows that do grow, especially from the first couple of seasons. I mean, it is very, very rare for a very popular series to have a hugely successful season 1 and then dip to season 2. And then still continue on and on and on for years to come. That is just not something that often happens. Anyway, folks, let me know what you're thinking about all this in those comments down below. Do you think the show's safe? Do you think I'm maybe putting too much into this? Let me know all your thoughts in those comments. And if you want to see more Witcher content, be sure to hit that subscribe button.